but good morning. I'm Dr. Tammy Clark. I'm the Dean of Clinics here at Palmer West, and I'd like to extend a special welcome to our current ninth quarter class, as well as their family, friends, faculty, and everybody else who is joining us today. So I'd also like to, before we start, give a special shout out and thanks to Chuck, who is our photographer, who's been doing that for many, many years, but also to our facilities and IT team, as well as your class rep Coral, because they've put a lot of effort in to pulling this together for us. So a special thank you to all of them. So in today's ceremony, we will officially recognize our newest group of Palmer West chiropractic interns. This pinning ceremony marks a very significant milestone in your journey to becoming a chiropractor. It marks the culmination of what has been 2.5 years of hard work thus far, and it also marks the beginning of the next step of your education. The next year is going to be that transformation, bringing you even closer to that day where you will become a doctor. You began your journey here at Palmer, if we can reflect back a little bit. You began your journey here as we were all trying to figure out how to adapt to an unprecedented global pandemic. You started your education at Palmer in what was mostly an online setting, which was not what you were expecting or anticipating when you were planning to become a chiropractor. Over the past 2.5 years, you've been forced to master the art of flexibility and resilience in ways that none of us would have been able to predict prior to you beginning that. Yet through it all, you have persevered and you have thrived. You've been preparing for this day through countless classes, endless hours of studying, more tests than you even want to think about, and hours of hands-on practice, some of which was on a pillow or a stuffed animal in the beginning of your time. So we have watched all of you undergo a tremendous amount of personal and professional growth and transformation over the last couple of years. For me, it was a personal pleasure watching you and working with you last quarter in Fort Lauderdale. That class is always fun for me because it's a capstone class where I get to see all of you come into that class looking like students, leaving that class looking ready to go into clinic, and then I get to see you here now, and it's super rewarding for me to see the progress and the transformation that has happened really in just the last quarter. So today, we are making things official. We are going to officially mark the transition from student to intern. Your class is a unique group of individuals. All of you know that because you know them personally. But together they form a larger cohort that is their group that has a really distinct and fun personality. But now your cohort is actually joining the larger cohort of our clinic system. So you're going to be joining and becoming a part of a team, and you'll be working together with a common goal of providing the best possible care to our patients. And over the next year, we will continue to constructively guide you and challenge you and move you even closer to graduation. You will be seeing patients in the outpatient clinic setting next. And during that time, you're going to experience moments where you feel overwhelmed, a little uncertain, sometimes overcome with doubt. But I want to encourage you over the next year to take full ownership of those experiences. And as you embrace those uncertainties, I want you to allow them to challenge you and to make every effort to get the most out of them as you overcome these new experiences that you'll be facing. I want to take a moment to remind all of you why you are here. We're going to do this a couple of times during today's ceremony. But for right now, I want to remind you that you have chosen to take on the responsibility of becoming a physician. You have chosen a career where you will be responsible for guiding patients towards optimal health, and you have chosen Palmer West to learn to become the best doctor of chiropractic that you can possibly be. In the coming year, I want you to ponder this for a second. In the coming year, you will be building and developing your very first chiropractic practice. Let that sink in. Some of you are thinking about your first practice after you graduate, but that's actually not your first practice. Your first practice is the one that you are building here in our clinic system. Many of you are dreaming of the practice after graduation, but in reality here, you are going to be responsible for the care and management of patients. You will be promoting and growing your very first practice. You will be managing and working with an exceptional staff that are here to support you. You will have colleagues to collaborate with, and you will be guided by mentor clinicians along the way. It's up to you how much effort you put into this very first practice of yours, and it's up to you how much you're going to get out of it. I want to establish a very high bar for all of you right now. I want to establish that right off the bat as you step into the outpatient clinic. Your time in the clinic here is so much more than just getting the minimum number of credits to graduate. I don't want you to have to worry about that. You really won't need to. It's more about laying the foundation that will shape the kind of doctor that you will become, and I want to encourage you to use this time to not get the minimum credits, but to get the maximum experience. I want to encourage you to be mindful as you work with your patients that you are more than just a technician. You are learning to become a physician. You will represent the chiropractic profession. You will forever represent Palmer West, and I have no doubt that you will represent us well. So today truly is a special day. I actually love this part of the quarter where we get to welcome you guys into the outpatient clinic. I still remember my pinning ceremony, which was longer ago than I care to think about at this point. I'll never forget the patients that I had when I was here in the Palmer Clinic. I still remember their faces, their names, and I remember what they taught me. And that was quite a while ago. You will be establishing memories while you are here that you will never forget. I remember the lessons I learned from my mentor clinician, who happens to be here today, sitting in the back. I'm going to say hi to Dr. Milas, who's visiting, which is wonderful. I remember Dr. Snow when he was a relatively new faculty member while I was an intern. And I want you to trust me when I say that the next year of your career will be one of the most formative and memorable times of your life. I consider it a great privilege that we get to be a part of your journey, and I trust that you will all continue to make us proud as you enter your outpatient clinic experience. So I'm going to invite Dr. Snow, who is our Senior Campus Administrator and Dean of Academic Affairs, to the podium to say a few words to you, and then we're going to hear some words from your ASG President as well. Dr. Snow.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. What a great day this is, huh? It's it might be hard, I think, to imagine from the audience perspective going this transition from student to intern, because they're still students technically. But it's this weird dynamic where they have to flip this switch of taking the educational content that we force-fed them through fire hose for the last 9 quarters, and then start spewing that out in an effective way as the rubber hits the road here. And it's not an easy thing to do. It's really a complete paradigm shift, and so this pinning ceremony represents that paradigm shift for them. And you know, I think I'll expand a little bit on what Dr. Clark said, because it absolutely is the opportunity to have your first practice and to make it real for you. And part of that realness right now, student clinic, is just trying to figure out how to get the forms done, right? You know, and how to take less than 4 hours to do a physical exam so your first outpatient will come back, you know, because you didn't take 4 hours. And, you know, do all these different things that are necessary for you academically to pass your boards. But there's a lot of other skill development that happens over this next year that can be extremely crucial to your development. And I think in line with what Dr. Clark was saying, you know, recognize that your growth as a clinician is logarithmic, right? You know, you start out in this development phase, and that's the challenging phase. But it's practice, right? Because that's what we call it, chiropractic practice. And so, you know, each bit of experience that you dip into and seize a hold of and grab onto moves you incrementally farther on that logarithmic phase. And so, you know, you'll start out like this, and then you get this growth phase. And I bring that up because it's, the more you put into your experience here, the sooner you get there. You know, and then you go through this rapid growth phase, and then you get to the stability phase generally at the top, where life is easier, you've got a patient base, they refer people into you, it's not as stressful, you can pay off your loans, you can, you know, afford a house hopefully, and all that other stuff, right? And so the crucial element now is, you know, just really grabbing, you know, the horse by the reins essentially over this next year. And I know you're tired, right? You're like, do you know what we've been through? Like Doe and Skolsky, you know, I mean, it's like, it is a serious investment in time, energy, mental attentiveness, and other things to get to this point. And then you get in the clinic, and you know, they're still super, super busy this quarter. It's one of the toughest ones there is. And the next quarter, there's a little light at the end of the tunnel, and then they're in pretty much full-time patient care after that. But I encourage you not to relax too much. Find the opportunity to do as much as you can possibly do. And so I know Dr. Clark said it, and I'll just repeat it. You know, for me, meeting your minimum clinical requirements is the equivalent of a C minus. Right? You got 70%. None of you, most of you, probably all of you, none of you are looking to go into any experience and go, I hope to just barely get by. But don't do it because there's some grade attached, because it's pass-fail, yay, right? But do it for you. And do it so that you can grow and expand on this course that you have of your clinical practice, because the great thing about your educational here is what you're going to do this next year is actually very real. A lot of chiropractic college clinics struggle to find patients for their interns, and you're left trying to recruit your friends and family and people who love you that you can beg them to come in so you can get your credits. We don't have that problem. Dr. Betty was telling me yesterday, he's like, I can't give patients away, they won't take them. Take the patients. If it's like, I'm too busy, really? Then spend less time with each patient and squeeze one more in and keep doing that, because that's what you're gonna need to do in your offices, right? And I know the system is slower here, but work on your capacity. Work on your communication skill. Learn to say more with less words and less time, right? And do it effectively. These are all elements that you have the opportunity to take advantage of this next year. And so I just strongly encourage you to do that. It will make you better for it. And like all those who preceded you, the West grads, you guys are going to be awesome. You're awesome now. You know, I have the pleasure of working with you. You guys are awesome already. You just need to ripen on the vine. Okay? And so they've been extremely well prepared. They know what to do. They know how to do it. They just haven't had the reps they need to do it as smoothly and effectively and efficiently as they're going to be able to do it. And so I have every confidence that you guys are going to do outstanding work, that you're going to give people well. It's going to surprise you how well you get people well, generally. But, you know, that actually, I think, is the easier part of chiropractic. The harder part is managing those patients, learning how to talk to them, learning how to have them understand, to follow through with their treatment plans, and you can get a lot of practice for that. So do it, dive in, okay? Keep drinking from the fire hose, a different one now. Enjoy it, okay? Do it for the right reasons, for the patient, right? For their well-being, to honor their time and money that they're giving up to see you, and make yourselves the doctors that you're going to be in the future. So it's more hard work, but it's going to continue. So you're used to it, stay used to it, stay strong. And I just, you know, congratulations on everything that you've done up to this point. I wish you all the best over the next year. So congrats.
Associated Student Government President to the podium to say a couple of words from the perspective of your class and colleagues. Greg, come on up.
Alright, can everybody hear me in the back? Okay, you guys good? Sweet. Always like to do that first before then I speak, I'm like just jibber jabbering up here, so thanks guys for that, appreciate it. Well, good morning everyone. Like Dr. Clark mentioned, my name is Greg Nelson. I'm an 8th quarter student here at Palmer West and the student body government for the Palmer West campus. And I'm honored and humbled to speak to you guys. Y'all look stunning, you look amazing. I mean, I'm so happy for you guys right now. My hands are just going. I'm just like, yes, they're here. They're like just the growth I've seen in you guys. It's been unbelievable. So congratulations to you guys. Like I said, this quarter, they're near and dear to my heart. I actually started out with this quarter, and we started out during COVID, during the pandemic. Didn't know what to expect. We're just like, we're wearing masks. We're in gross anatomy class. We're wearing masks. We're wearing face protection. We're just like, what's going to happen within the next couple months? You know, we don't know, just the uncertainty of everything. And I think that grew this group so tight because we were literally the first class to come back into labs during COVID. And so I think we grew our own little bubble together, and that's just what made this group so strong-willed and just want to be the best that they can be and grow to the great chiropractor they're going to be. So I have 2 stories for you guys. One of them, Gabby's going to know this one right off the bat, and she's probably sick of me telling this story, but this is a testament to this class, though. So I actually graduated with a business degree, and so did Gabby, and we were both in gross anatomy lab. Given I have never seen spine before, I've never seen skull before in my life, and I'm just like, okay, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And I turn around. As Dr. Zhang, she was like speaking on the skull, I like turned, I'm like, what? I was like, what are we doing? Like, what is going on? You know, what are we learning? And she always will give me that, she gave me that face right back, and she is also a business major, so she knows kind of where I'm coming from on that. But as I told this story to you guys, be prepared for the unexpected. You don't know what's going to come at you. You don't know what type of patients you're going to have. You know, they're going to come in, but based on that, have that positive attitude that you're going to change that person's life. You want to change that person's life. That is the main goal. That is why you guys are here today. So I commend you guys for doing that and keep on striving to be the great doctors that you are. Another story that I have, so last quarter, you know, we all have those days where it's like down the dumps. We don't know what's going to happen. Or it's like, oh, that exam just got me, you know, and so like, I was kind of strutting around, you know, I'm just like, okay, let's, you know, it's like, all right. Did really bad on exam, and many of them just kind of came up, they saw my emotions and everything, they just came up and they was like, Greg, everything's going to be okay. You know, you're going to be all right, you're going to push through, and that's just a testament to them, how much amazing people they are, and that they want the best out of everybody. So, continue to be awesome, continue to be unstoppable, be who you are, and continue to strive to be the best. Not much else to say. Once again, thank you guys for everything. I'm just so happy to celebrate here with you guys. You guys are going to be amazing interns. Can't wait to see you grow during an outpatient clinic. I actually want you guys to take this time, turn to your family and friends over here and give them a big round of applause because they helped you get there. So go today, celebrate, let that just release the stress off those shoulders, and they know how tight up I am too. So they know when they say that, like, okay, great, relax. It's like, I'm telling you guys, relax today, enjoy your time, go have fun, and I'll leave you guys with this. A dear friend of mine once said, leave the world better off than it was before. Create your own legacy. Start it today in clinic, as Dr. Clark mentioned. The day that you step into the clinic, you're creating your own practice, you're creating your own legacy. So, I love you all like my family, and I can't thank you guys for changing my life, so thanks guys.
Thanks so much, Greg. It's always special for us to hear a classmate speak to the class. It's so heartfelt because no one knows better what these guys have gone through to get to this step than the people who are also walking this journey with them. So thanks for that, Greg, I appreciate it. So before we begin the official pinning part of the ceremony, I'd like to share some final thoughts with you that I want you to reflect on as we are going through this transitional step that will bring you into the outpatient clinic. I want you to reflect about the discoveries that you will continue to make as you move forward along your path to becoming a doctor. So think about these things for me for just a moment. In the coming year, you are going to discover the power of your touch and the importance of your words. You will discover how important it is to understand that your patient is a human being, not just a diagnosis to be treated or credits to be earned. You will discover that to understand a patient's pain means that you have to truly understand and know the patient, their values, their worries, their hopes, their dreams, their fears. You will discover that empathy and human connection are just as critical to healing as what you do with your hands. You will discover that humbling honor and responsibility associated with overseeing your patient's care personally and with excellence. You will discover that being a chiropractor means a lifetime of learning, and it also means exposure to human emotions at their worst and at their very best. And mostly, you will discover that being a chiropractor is a calling, not just a profession. Just last night, I was sitting chatting with Dr. Shaw, who you guys are going to meet, in which you get into outpatient clinic, and a couple of our recent graduates. We were getting together, and we were talking about patients that had touched us, that we touch them, but they touch us over the years. And we were talking about how much we love what we do. And I don't know that you realize just yet how special that is. I've been a chiropractor for pushing 30 years now. And Dr. Shaw a long time as well, and we've had a couple of recent graduates. And do you know, 30 years into this profession, I still every day get to say, I love what I do. And I want you to think about that as you face the challenges and the struggles going through outpatient clinic. You will someday look back and say, every day, I can't believe I get paid to do this. It's a beautiful thing. With that said, it has come time for the presentation of your pins, which formally symbolizes your transition from student to intern. Dr. Betty, who is our director of clinics, will read your names. When your name's called, you'll come forward. I'll present your pin, we'll shake hands, then I'll put the pin on your lapel, we'll shake hands again, 2 pictures on there. Jonathan, you get to lead the way to make sure everybody knows what to do, and we will mark these transitions as we go. Give us a second to move this podium a little bit out of the way. It's always the most challenging part.
No worries, Jonathan.
Good morning, everybody. I just want to say congratulations getting to this point. It's been a rigorous journey, a difficult one, but you're here now, and I look forward to working with you even more closely in the outpatient clinic. So congratulations, everybody. All right. First up is Jonathan Aki. Isaac Cruz. Jacob DeGoyer. Tucker Elsner. Frankie Esses.
Those shoes make her as tall as me.
Back row today. My dad's right there. The handsome one.
Whitney Ayers. Tina Peruz. Gabby Giordano. Tracy Hendricks.
told him I was gonna mom him, so. All right.
Claudia Macias. Nadia Morales Pisao. Joshua Muau. Mallory Neenan. Anthony Peterson. Lisa Riddell. Kayleen Rice. Lindy Saylor. Sophia Samnani. Jason Walsh.
Official. I've never done that before. It's not a jinx, it's actually the best thing ever. See, when you fall, you pick it right back up and you keep going. You'll never forget that.
He's too big.
Brandon Zane.
Hold on to this one.
Congratulations again, interns.
I'd like to officially now welcome our newest group of chiropractic interns to the outpatient clinic. And just for a little bit of a kind of something to look forward to, before we know it, we will be again celebrating with all of you as you graduate as the class of fall of 2023. So the next year is going to be a fun one. And again, welcome. I hope you guys can enjoy celebrating. There's some coffee in the back. Thanks for joining us today.